Four in the clears or one in the heady. Your hand no shake, man, hold that steady. Your man love pose with a team for the picture. Your man should've bust that ting already. Your man love hezzy. Yeah, can't back chat to the prezi. You know when the beef just tastes like veggie. Yo, what's good? You already done know what it is. It's your girl, Just Kimmy, and I'm out here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're already a subscriber, wagwan brethren, you already done know I appreciate all the love and support. So what I'm going to be talking about in today's video is kind of the reasons why I've been pretty much inconsistent with my uploads, and also the struggles, I guess, of living abroad, most specifically of living in South Korea. I feel like not a lot of people talk about, living abroad and kind of like its hardships or things like its cons, not its cons, but like things that make it difficult to live abroad. And some of these things are based on my own personal experiences, and some of these things are also just what I've heard from other people, when we've had conversations and how people are feeling, or certain situations that people have found themselves in while living here in Korea or even abroad. This is not my first time living abroad. I actually went to school in America. I'm from Canada, so I've been away from family, but not like this. When I went to school in America, I was able to go back and forth, a couple of times a year, like for holidays and such. So I'm going to be speaking on kind of the struggles or the hardships of living in South Korea. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So some of the hardships are, let's start with time goes on. You know what I'm saying? So time does not stop for you. And what I mean by that is when you're leaving, your home country, you're leaving behind things that you've had there. So let's say you're leaving behind your family, like your friends, like anything. Time does not stop for you. I think it's kind of hard these days, especially with social media. If you have nieces or nephews, you're seeing them grow up through social media. You're not necessarily there with them. And as with friends, you see friends doing like all these glamorous things, or they're getting married. People are getting married. People are having kids, and unfortunately, some things that might be hard when you're here is people also do pass away while you're here. Time does not stop for you. So that is one thing you got to think about before you move, halfway across the world, is that time goes on. Just because you're here, you're living your life, and everyone else that you've quote unquote, I guess, left behind is also living their life as well. That being said, that time doesn't stop for you, that kind of plays into homesickness. Homesickness is real, man. Like, I feel that when you are missing, your mom or your family or your sisters or your brothers, or just like your own bed, it really does take a toll on some people. Like, I feel like some people get it more than others. Some people are used to being away from their family and some people aren't. So if you've never really been apart from your family, or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, I feel like that homesickness kind of plays into the struggles of living abroad a lot. Also with homesickness is kind of, I feel like, plays together with being lonely, because maybe you've come here and you've left, like I said, like your family and your friends behind. So it's kind of like you can be a little bit lonely, and then when you feel lonely, you start to feel homesick, because when you're at home, you had like all this stuff around you. Maybe if you did have all this stuff around you, but you had people, you had things, you had hobbies, and it was just more comfortable. And then when you move halfway across the world, it's kind of a little bit more difficult to get adjusted to certain things and a certain lifestyle. So you tend to feel a lot homesick, or sometimes you just miss, home cooked meals from your mom, or like from your own culture. Mom, no matter how old you are, you're always gonna miss like being able to call up your dukes and being like, yo, can you cook this up for me or something? Or can you chef this up for me? Or going to your mom's house and taking, toilet paper and bread and all that stuff. Like, you definitely, get a little bit homesick while you're out here. Next, I think this one for me particularly is specific to Korea. So in Korea, it's so inconsistent, and I think a lot of people struggle with inconsistency. I think also I've been struggling with it a little bit. Like, there's no consistency. Like, First of all, when you get a job here, a lot of the contracts are yearly. Some of them are by 6 months, some of them are yearly, some of them are 2 years. So it's like every time that contracted period comes up, you kind of have that feeling of inconsistency. Like you don't know when you're going to get another job. You're going to have to look for another job in a year. You're going to have to look for another job in 6 months. So it's kind of like inconsistent. And along with that, if you're working in the public schools, the teachers and your co-workers are also inconsistent because they do like a rotating work schedule or a rotating work career. So teachers at your school might only work at your school for 2 years and they keep switching 2 years in new school, 2 years in new school. And the same with us as well. If our contract is a year or two, after 1 year, you're switching to another school. After 2 years, you're switching to another school. Maybe after 6 months, you're switching to another school. So that inconsistency, like you could have a good thing going on and then it just changes, you know, like very quickly. You could be having such a good year and then the teachers change and then your coworkers change and then the next year is just kind of not as good as the previous years and stuff like that. So inconsistency plays a really big role of the struggles of living abroad, especially in Korea. Also in Korea, a lot of things are so last minute. You know, you might be going throughout your whole day or your whole year and then something changes without warning. It's just how they do it in Korea. There's not a lot of forewarning. And on top of that, they expect you to adjust to these changes kind of right away without any like leeway. It's just, hey, this is what it is and this is what we're doing now and it's a change. You don't have any say in it or anything. It's just how they do things here. Another thing that's a struggle about living abroad are relationships, and not necessarily only relationships like, you know, finding a partner like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but also with friends as well, because everyone's here kind of on different bases and like that inconsistency that I talked about before. Everything is kind of come and go. People are come and go. You know, someone might be here for just 6 months, someone might be here for a year, someone might be here for a long term. So when you're meeting friends, you might meet someone and they might be leaving in like a month or they might be leaving in a week, but you're just like, wow, I felt like I met someone and this is a person for me, or I felt like I met this friend and man, and she's so cool, like I want them to be a lifelong friend. But the chances of that happening are kind of slim. You know, you're gonna have to put in a lot of effort into it after the fact you guys have gone your separate ways back to your home country. And if it comes to relationships, like if you have a boyfriend for a year or even like a couple of months, you know, at a certain point, unless both of you are planning on staying in said country, let's say Korea forever, you know, it makes everything a little bit more difficult. So relationships here are so hard to maintain and they're hard to come by. And when you do come by them, you know, it's kind of sad because then eventually someone ends up leaving or you both end up leaving. And it just becomes very difficult to remain friends or even maybe to have a proper relationship with somebody that's not Korean or from the country that you're living in. So there's always that kind of struggle to maintaining relationships and friendships. Okay, so now that I've gone through the struggles of kind of living abroad, I'm gonna talk about why I've been so inconsistent with posting or why I haven't really been uploading that much. And it's not very complicated. I'll just say that, you know, at first this started off as being really fun. You know, I was doing it. My goal of starting this channel originally was just to kind of tell my experiences here in Korea to my friends and family back home, instead of, you know, telling the same story to everyone on the phone or keep texting people the same stories over and over again. It was just easier and it was fun to make videos of my experience and just to upload it in one video and my friends and family can watch it. That was originally the reason why I started this channel, or I started making YouTube videos. And also I just generally enjoyed filming videos. I also really like doing stuff with my friends, like reactions or challenges and stuff like that. It was really fun, and the people who were doing it with me had a really good time as well. So that's why I liked it. I kind of stopped because, you know, when it comes to like story times and experiences, you know, I've lived here in Korea for now 3 years, and I would say I don't do anything. You know, my life here is pretty boring now and it's pretty static, so I don't go out. My day pretty much consists of me going to work and coming back home. So I don't really have anything else to tell. And or I don't have anything else that I feel like you guys would be interested in. You know, I'm not saying like I've lost interest, but I just feel like I just don't know what else to put out, considering I don't know, I feel like I'm not that entertaining, so I just don't know what else, like, content to put. The excitement, I guess, of living in Korea has kind of fizzled out for me a bit. And I feel like when you're not in a place of excitement or I guess happiness to be making content, you can tell. And I'm not an actress. Like, I can't put on like this happy, exciting face and just, you know, be putting out content that I don't feel like I'm happy with. So unless I'm happy with the content, then I feel like I don't want to be putting it out. Like, I've recorded a lot of videos and I look back at it and I'm just like, you know what, like, I don't really like it, you know, or like my heart wasn't really in it. And so I just decided to, you know, just stop putting out videos. And also, you know, it was kind of my routine thing, you know, for my intros, you know, I do a rap or whatever, or I really like doing reactions. I really like doing reaction videos. I really like rapping in front for my intros and stuff like that. But like, I started getting a lot of copywriting issues, and not just only copywriting issues. Usually when I do a reaction or when I do a rap, they copyright it and that's it. But I've been getting like strikes. So when you get a strike, it lasts about like 2 to 3 months, and I've gotten 2 already, and it just sucks because if you get 3 strikes, they'll pretty much take away like your YouTube channel and stuff like that. So that really was, you know, really shitty. Just getting all these strikes. I didn't know why I was getting strikes. You know, other people were doing the same content, you know, the same music video reaction with the same videos, but theirs was still up, you know, but mine was getting copyrighted and mine was getting strikes. So I was just like, I don't know what's happening here. And that kind of like deterred me a lot from doing a lot of rap intros and doing like a lot of music video reactions and stuff like that. And pretty much I don't want to be making a lot of excuses for why I haven't been making content, but a lot of it has to just do with, I don't know, just not feeling a lot of motivation from myself or just the environment that I'm in, and that feeling of just being like stuck, and like I don't know where I want this channel to go. I don't know what kind of content I want to produce anymore. So I'm just kind of like in that gray area. I just want to end it with a thank you for everyone who's been here from day one until now, or if you're new, thank you for still supporting me. Thank you for still watching my content. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking my videos, and thank you for sticking around. I really hope that I will find, you know, my enjoyment. I'll find my motivation. I'll find what I want to do again and start making more videos. And if you have any suggestions that can help me out, I would really appreciate that, as well as things that you would like to see maybe. You already don't know what it is. It's your girl, Just Kimi, and I'm out.